All right, today we are diving deep into a topic that it's truly the foundation for a successful life: self-esteem. We're going to be exploring the amazing work of psychotherapist Nathaniel Branden, who figured out the 6 core practices, the 6 pillars that are absolutely essential for building and maintaining it. So yeah, let's get into this.
But hang on. First, let me ask you something. Seriously, when was the last time you were able to just sit down and work on something that really mattered to you for like an hour straight without getting distracted? Without that little twitch to go check your phone or scroll through social media? If you're struggling to remember, trust me, you are not alone. We're living in a world that is just constantly yanking at our attention, which makes focus a real superpower these days.
Welcome to Daily Book Insight. That question is so important because in this super fast-changing, hyper-competitive world we're in, the ability to direct your own life is everything. And as Brennan argues, trying to face all that with low self-esteem, well, it puts you at a huge disadvantage. It's like this invisible barrier holding you back from what you're truly capable of. So here's our game plan for this explainer. Think of it as a roadmap. First, we're going to look at what he calls the self-esteem deficit and its consequences. Then we'll get a really clear definition of what self-esteem actually is and isn't. After that, we'll break down each of the 6 pillars, 2 by 2, and we'll wrap it up with this incredibly powerful idea that ties it all together, this idea of building a trustworthy reputation with yourself. Okay, so let's start with the problem itself, the self-esteem deficit. Branden says this isn't just about, feeling bad about yourself. It's way deeper. It's a powerful, self-fulfilling prophecy. Because the way he puts it, your self-concept, what you believe about yourself, it pretty much becomes your destiny. What you think is possible for you on the inside ends up dictating the reality you create on the outside.
Now, what's fascinating here is how all these consequences feed into each other, creating this vicious cycle. See, low self-esteem makes you crave safety and avoid challenges. So what happens? You achieve less, which just reinforces that belief that you aren't capable. It makes your communication all muddy and evasive because you're terrified of being judged. And relationships? Oh, it's just devastating. That fear of being unlovable can actually make you unconsciously push love away when you find it. Or you get drawn to other people who also think poorly of themselves. It's, as Branden calls it, the union of 2 abysses, which, as you can imagine, never creates a height.
So, if low self-esteem is so damaging, what exactly is healthy self-esteem? This part is so important. It is not about being arrogant or bragging. Actually, that kind of behavior is usually a sign of a lack of self-esteem. Real self-esteem is an intimate internal experience. It's what you think and feel about you, not what anyone else does. You could be adored by millions and still wake up every morning feeling like a total fraud.
So here it is, Brendan's official definition, and it's just brilliant. He says self-esteem isn't just a mood. It's a disposition to experience oneself in a certain way. It's basically the sum of 2 core beliefs. First, that you are competent to handle life, and second, that you are worthy of happiness. It's that deep down gut feeling that you are, in essence, appropriate to life.
Let's break that down a bit more. The 2 key ingredients are self-efficacy and self-respect. Self-efficacy is all about trusting your own mind, your confidence in your ability to think, to learn, to figure things out. It's not about being a know-it-all. It's about believing you can learn what you need to learn. And then, the other side of that coin is self-respect. This is the solid belief that you are worthy of happiness, that you have a right to your own needs and to enjoy the good things you create. You absolutely need both. Without efficacy, you feel helpless. Without respect, you feel like you don't deserve anything good anyway. Okay, so how in the world do we build this? Branden is very clear. It's not a gift you're born with. It's a discipline, and it's built through practice. And that brings us to the 6 pillars. Let's get into the first 2, which are really the bedrock foundation for everything else: living consciously and self-acceptance. The first pillar is the practice of living consciously. Branden believed that most of us are basically sleepwalking through life. Living consciously is the exact opposite of that. It's making the choice to be aware of reality. Not just the world around you, but your own inner world, your thoughts, your feelings. It means choosing to be mentally active instead of passive, and, this is the key, acting in line with what you see and what you know. Now, to help with this, Branden came up with this amazing tool called sentence completion. The whole idea is to kind of sneak past your own internal critic and tap into wisdom you didn't even know you had. So you take a phrase like, living consciously to me means, and you just write down, as fast as you can, 6 to 10 endings without thinking about it. You might write, actually listening when my partner talks, or thinking about where my money is really going. Seriously, trying this for just 1 week can be like an adrenaline shot for your brain. Pillar number 2 is the practice of self-acceptance, and this one is just so fundamental. I mean, think about it. You cannot build self-esteem if you are constantly at war with yourself. It's impossible. Self-acceptance simply means being on your own side. It's being willing to experience, without denying it or running away from it, the reality of your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. It's looking in the mirror and saying, okay, this is me right now. This is what I'm feeling, and not rejecting it.
But here's the crucial thing to understand. Acceptance does not mean you have to like it or approve of it. You can accept that you feel angry without lashing out. You can accept that you made a mistake without calling yourself an idiot. Acceptance is just about respecting reality. And here's the paradox. It's only when you fully accept what is that you can even begin to change it. As long as you're in denial, you're just stuck.
Okay, let's move on to the next couple of pillars and see how this all starts to build on itself. Once you have that foundation of awareness and acceptance, you're ready for the more action-oriented pillars, self-responsibility and self-assertiveness. This is where we start taking ownership of our lives. So, pillar number 3 is the practice of self-responsibility. This is really about that light bulb moment when you understand that you are the author of your own choices and actions. It means realizing you're responsible for achieving your own goals, for how you treat people, for your own happiness. And yep, you're even responsible for raising your own self-esteem. Branden said one of the most powerful moments in therapy is when a client finally truly gets this one simple, brutal idea. No one is coming. No one is coming to rescue you. No one is coming on a white horse to solve all your problems and make your life perfect. If you don't do something, nothing is going to get better. And this isn't supposed to be depressing. It's supposed to be liberating because it puts all the power right back where it belongs, in your hands. And that leads us perfectly into pillar number 4, the practice of self-assertiveness. This is all about honoring your wants, your needs, and your values out in the real world. It means being willing to stand up for yourself, to be who you are openly, and to treat yourself with respect in all your interactions. It's about living authentically. And it's not about being a jerk or steamrolling other people. It's simply the refusal to fake your own existence just to make someone else comfortable.
So, we're now aware, we're accepting, we're responsible, and we're assertive. What else is there? Well, the final 2 pillars are what give our lives direction and a sense of wholeness. They are the practice of living purposefully and the practice of personal integrity. The 5th pillar is the practice of living purposefully. You know, to live without a purpose is to be like a cork bobbing on the water, just pushed around by currents and random events. But to live purposefully means using your abilities to achieve goals that you have chosen, whether that's raising a family or starting a business or mastering the guitar. Your goals are what pull you forward. They energize your life. They stop you from just living like a zombie. Work, eat, binge watch, sleep, repeat.
And finally, we have the 6th pillar, which really ties the whole thing together, the practice of personal integrity. This is all about congruence. It's about the alignment between your values and your actions. It means you practice what you preach. When you have integrity, people and you know that what you see is what you get. And this brings us to what might be the most important point of all. Integrity isn't just about what other people think of you. It is about the reputation you have with yourself. Every single time you make a promise to yourself and then you break it. You know, I'm going to start working out tomorrow, and then you don't. You are damaging that reputation. You're teaching yourself that your own word is worthless. But on the flip side, every time you keep a promise to yourself, no matter how small, you build self-trust and self-respect. So now let's bring this all home and talk about what it really means to build this internal reputation. These 6 pillars aren't just 6 separate things to do. They're a tightly woven system. They all influence and strengthen each other. Practicing one makes the others easier. Let's just walk through it one more time. It all starts with living consciously, choosing to see reality. That allows for self-acceptance, choosing to be on your own side. From there, you can take self-responsibility, owning your life because no one else will. This empowers you to find your voice with self-assertiveness, living as your true self. You give your life direction by living purposefully, guided by your own goals. And finally, you build deep trust in yourself through personal integrity, by making your actions match your values. Each one is a daily practice, and together they build that unshakable reputation with yourself. And that leaves us with one final question that really puts this whole idea into action. If self-esteem is the reputation we acquire with ourselves, then think about your actions, your choices, your thoughts, just from today.
What kind of reputation are you building with the single most important person in your life? Yourself.
I really hope this breakdown has given you some powerful new ways to think about building that reputation with yourself. If you got some value out of this, please hit like and subscribe, and of course, share it with any friends or family who are also looking to upgrade their life. Thanks so much for joining me.